Hang on, Tom.
Scott.
Hey. I'll just mic you up. Yeah, just on the belt.
So what's your background? What are you? You filmmaker? Or?
I actually do like corporate videos a lot, and I did a wedding last week, and it's
Cool.
So this is a really exciting thing for me.
Shit, yeah.
Is it okay if I just start?
Sure, yeah.
All right, I'll just be behind the camera.
Yeah.
And I'll just fire away. So, what's the best bit about being famous?
Well, I don't really know, because I'm not that famous. I mean, somebody like, fucking Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is famous. I'm not famous. Whatever.
What's, the most interesting thing that has happened to you?
In my life?
And how did Chopper end up producing the film?
No, the chick that produced Chopper produced The Magician.
Because it says on the poster the producer is Chopper.
No, it says the producer of Chopper.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. That would have been really cool. Imagine that.
Excuse me. What are you saying, that if Chopper had produced the film, that would have been cool? Is that what you're saying?
Who's that?
That's it's probably Benny.
Oh.
Dude.
Yeah, mate, how are you?
Good, come in.
Hey, how you going?
This is Tom.
Ben.
All right, well, you want to set that chair up.
Yeah.
I've got to show you. Check this out.
Yeah, so how's it going?
It's fucked. It's fucked.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's doing. The questions are fucked. They're ridiculous, and I'm going to look like an absolute fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And you're going to look like an absolute idiot.
Well, it looks like a bit of a half-assed setup as well. Like fucking.
But he's a fuckwit. He can't. He's doing the best he can. But
Yeah.
he's a knob. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
So he can't do anything about it. We're supposed to make a doco for $600
Well,
with a guy who's never made a fucking doco, who's done fucking wedding videos.
See how it goes.
I'm sitting here. Yeah.
I'll just
Actually, I'd prefer to. Hold on, you try sitting there. Yeah, I'm not really comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Can he sit on the beanbag?
I was at the St Kilda Film Festival, and I was watching all the shorts, and and it was the last film in one of the sessions that I saw, and it said 30 minutes long, and as someone who goes to a lot of film festivals, you see 30 minutes short, and you're like, oh, well, it's the last one. If it's no good, I can walk out, Anyway, it was a packed audience, and I saw it. It was great, and it was just the short. It was just the Tony Max Ray story, the dig and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I thought it was awesome, and my brother had been talking about making a mockumentary or fake documentary kind of type thing, and
Because his brother Joel, was making a mockumentary. He was thinking about making one at the time. I think that was the reason he wanted to see it. And I gave it to him, and that was it. I didn't expect to hear from him again. And about 2 weeks later, I think it was, or a week or so later, he rang me up and said, look, I saw it and I think it's really good. And I'm going to try to, show it to a few people and see if I can get somebody to help you out, And I thought, well, if you're going to do that, you might as well come on board as a producer, at least in name, and that way, if something happens, you'll get something out of it,
I said, oh, look, man, if you can put my name on it, then I think you need to do this, this, and this to the edit. And he said, well, do you want to do that? And I said, well, well, okay, if I'm going to do that, then I want to see all the rushes and we start from scratch.
Well, we started school together at the same time in 2000 at RMIT. And of the people, of the 60 or 90 students from the 3 groups, there were not that many that I was sort of clicked with, but Scotty was one that we pretty much clicked straight away, and we hung out a lot at school, hung out a bit out of school, and just established a connection.
Scott and I sort of became a little bit friends, and he actually had already done a short film the previous year, the same subject, the same sort of structure, but it was just a 15-minute film, which, you know, was quite good. I quite liked it, and so when he asked me if I wanted to be involved, you know, I was more than happy to do it. Actually, more for the friendship.
Well, everybody, except the guy shooting the garage at the start, that's my brother. Everybody else in the film was from RMIT, guys in my year or the year before me and stuff like that. And when I was at RMIT, we had like groups of 5, and you'd work on each other's films. And they all made shorts. And because I basically helped them with their films, they basically had to help me with mine. So they got the raw end of the deal, I suppose.
Can you hear me now?
I can only hear through the other one.
You can hear me through this one?
Yeah.
Did you charge these suckers up beforehand, or?
Well, the battery light's on, so yeah. Oh.
Is this your gear, or?
Well, it's my company's gear, but we used it at a wedding the other day. It was fine. What should I do?
Well, it's saying there's a level, so.
It's saying there's
Does
the power, but you can't.
Yeah.
There should be a light coming on. Oh, okay.
Yeah, do you want to just have
Just Oh, okay. I've got to turn up at my end as well.
Yeah.
I got it.
That's what I'm more interested in, is real life, rather than creating some sort of, you know, fantasy world where, you know, magical fucking things happen. I'm not really interested. And I'm not really interested in story. You know, people are hung up on story. Oh, it's got to have story, and it's got to have this and that, and the story. You know, stories there to sort of move things along.
It was very much like an ever-evolving organic kind of process where Scotty'd have an idea for a scene, or we'd have a conversation, say, hey, that'd be good in the Magish. It wouldn't always be story-driven, and so there was a point where we ended up with lots of good scenes, but not enough story to push through them all and keep you watching. And
I don't go to see a film to see a story. I go to see a film to see a character. You know, I want to see a character that I can empathise with, and who I like, who interests me, and all that sort of thing. That's what I want to see, and that's one of my favourite films. You know, films that have characters who are interesting, not stories.
as far as fame goes, not really famous at this point. You know, it's kind of early days there, and it's not like I get recognised or anything. But in terms of making the film, it was something we worked on while we were at school together. Sort of existed in various manifestations.
Yeah.
And I was pretty much involved with the project from its inception, I guess, with Scotty. You know, from the get-go. Been in it for the long haul.
I was saying that I love the film, and I tried to get everyone I knew to see it. Not all of them came, but I just made it. I've been trying to make a film, and it's really great the way you guys did that. And I was saying, actually, if I really need some help, and you guys are talking about how you should just do it, and like next Sunday would be great if you could come and help me with my one.
Well, I'm pretty busy at the moment. Maybe if you give me your number,
Oh yeah.
and if I can get some time or whatever, I'll give you a call. But
Sure.
This is basically where we shot the scene where I grabbed Tony Rickards. Car was parked here, which, I mean, this is a disabled parking spot, so we used to get in a bit of trouble from the parking inspectors, but parked here and basically looking that way. First time you see Tony Rickards when he comes around here and walks down, and then I grab him when he comes back this way. So he's either going to come, I mean, he normally comes down this alleyway, but he could come up here or here, or he could even come this way. So I've just got to keep my eye out, but basically whatever way he comes, I'm just going to grab him and chuck him in the car. It was tough shooting here because there was so many people around that night, and I had a, you know, it was only a cap gun, but basically if the cops had found out, we would have been in a bit of trouble because we had no permits or anything like that. So we probably did about 30 takes, and we could only use about one of them because people were walking through the shot, and we had to stop filming, and that was a pretty tough night. Oh, you know the scene where I'm talking about my
shall we?
wife and daughter
Being in the army.
Being in the army, we actually shot it right here. And I was kneeling down here. The cameraman was there.
Shall I reenact that for
Yeah,
you?
you can pretend you're there, like so. And that's where we did it, basically. So it might be a good idea for you to actually get down.
Yeah. Get the skyline in and stuff.
Get that. That's right. So look it up a little bit. I was in the army.
In the army for a long time?
8 years.
8 years.
Have you made other films together?
We've worked like
Yeah, we kind of did. Yeah, a few shorts.
yeah.
What were they about?
They sucked, so they're not really worth talking about.
Oh, sorry, it's my phone.
Did you?
Hello. Good.
When you do that,
Yeah, it was pretty good fun.
fucking interview.
Yeah, for a little bit. But not as late as Tales.
I might just grab
You're saying you're a
myself.
bit sick,
Um,
or?
Yeah, we'll get some filter.
So you're pretty keen to work on a film then, are you? Or?
Oh yeah, mate. This Sunday I'll be there. You're not going to come?
I think I have to tear my fingernails out that day. From the roof.
I think I have to eat my own spew.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the only person who was a professional actor was Marcy, who was behind the camera. Everybody else is pretty much a non-actor, including myself. So most of these people were playing, you know, slightly exaggerated versions of themselves.
He would give me specific details, like, okay, you're a 23-year-old drug dealer, you've got a wife that you're separated from, and you've got a 6-year-old daughter. Now tell us the story. And so it would be the content, the humanity was ad-libbed. That's what I feel like. The humanity was ad-libbed.
Improvising is something that we do all the time. Naturally, it's what we do as human beings. So if you're trying to make a film and you're trying to make it look as natural and as real as possible, aren't you better off improvising? You know, maybe it's not going to be, you know, great dialogue, but it's going to be real dialogue.
Have you read that book called about screenplays? Called Screenplay?
Who wrote it?
I think it was a guy called Sid Field.
Oh, Sid Field, yeah, I kind of read those years ago.
What did you think?
I hated them.
Why did you hate him?
All these books are written by guys who can't write.
And they talk about the magic formula or the...
Yeah,
you know,
the magic fucking formula, how to make a good screenplay great and all this sort of bullshit. It's
like there's a guarantee and there ain't.
you know, it's like you know, if you want something done well, do you get somebody who can't do it? You know what I mean? Like if you're going to say you're going to make a fucking, let's say you're going to make a film or a documentary, say for example, would you get somebody who doesn't know what they're doing?
Well, you
making the documentary? That would be
Possibly.
stupid. You know what I mean?
Some people would.
You get somebody who has no experience, who's totally inept, doing it, it's going to suck. You just wouldn't do it. So why would you try to learn to write screenplays from somebody who actually doesn't write screenplays for a living? How can they teach you if they can't do it themselves? You know what I mean?
Michelle Bennett said, I think you should go to the AFC and try and get like a post grant. So we got the application forms, she went through them with me, and then we realised like I needed someone who actually had a feature film credit as a producer or director to help us get the finance. And between Scott and myself, we didn't have those credits. And so Michelle said she would go on the form with us because she liked the film and she wanted to help us out.
Just had to raise the money to finish it, which meant really, re-editing it and giving it a film finish. And really the post-production on this film was as professional and as extensive as it would have been on a film that had been shot in the traditional way, over 8 weeks on film. And we also managed, we were able to pay the actors and Scott, all the principals. And then just finding a distributor here in Australia and sales agent overseas so that, it's getting a release domestically and internationally.
That's an interesting question. Like, how much money has it made?
I don't think I have the box office figures actually.
Don't have money at the moment?
No.
But I mean, you said it costs $3,000 to shoot it.
Yep.
And then
About $450 all up.
$450,000.
Yep.
And so has it made back that? I mean, that's pretty cheap for a movie.
Yeah, no, it hasn't made it back, I don't think yet.
Because I read a lot of reviews when it was around. Like for about 3 weeks or 2 weeks, the film was just everywhere.
Mm.
And it got all the best reviews I've seen in a long time.
Mm.
So why didn't people go?
Good question. What do you think, Ben? This is an example of how you got to be on the ball, especially when you're writing, you're directing, you're acting. You know what I mean? And you're ad-libbing. You're doing everything at once. You know what I mean? You're not just reading some shit off a script that somebody else has written. You know what I mean? You're creating all the time. So you look at my sunglasses here, right? I can see Benny's head's half cut off. See Benny in the back seat? His head's half cut off. Right? So I'm sitting there and I'm acting, right? But always, I'm totally aware of what's going on as a director at the same time, right? See, my hand moves across, I touch Marcy's hand and I'm actually moving his hand. See, there's my hand in my sunglasses and I'm moving the camera to get Benny's head in shot.
Wow.
So I'm acting and directing at the same time and doing the cinematography, helping the cinematographer do his job at the same time. So totally fucking aware at all times of what's going on. That's how you got to be. If you want to make it in this business, you got to be fucking totally switched on all the time. There's a bit here that's good. I love this bit here. Where he says whatever's easy for me and I say this bit here. How about I fucking shoot you right here in the alley? That's easy for me. That good for you? Right? That whole little bit there I do there, that's totally ad-libbed. Right? No script, just spur of the moment, and I only did it once. We did a couple of takes and I only did that little bit once. Every time I do it, it's fresh, it's different. I never do the same take twice. That's a great thing about ad-libbing, you know what I mean? You just you got to totally be on the ball. Not many actors can do it. Very few, probably a handful in the world can do that shit. So you can see me looking, right? You see me there. See, I'm talking to him, right? And I keep looking over, right? Because as an actor, okay, I'm talking to him, but as a director, I'm checking to make sure, is the crowd moving? Because I got to get the right time. I got to move at exactly the right time. Because if I don't, that whole shot is fucked. The whole end of the film's fucked. So time it perfectly. Bang, off I go, across the street. Crowd comes in, and these aren't extras too, you know what I mean? So anything can happen. No, that's not, it's totally, any shit can happen, so you got to be on the ball, you know what I mean? So there I am, disappear, like a magician, you know what I mean? Disappear, Music comes up. Woman crosses outside the street. Cars come right. Bang. That's gold. That's fucking gold.
You had a taste of fame and success.
I had a small taste.
What are the differences you experienced? What was your life like beforehand? What is it now?
Pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Pretty similar. I mean, I'm not depressed, which is good.
Yeah.
And I've got actually, you know, there's kind of like a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see hope.
Would you say you're more confident?
Yeah, more confident. Yeah.
More self-belief?
Yeah. Better self-esteem. Happier. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it hasn't done shit for me.
Hasn't it shit for you? You gave it smoking, no? That wasn't directly related, I suppose.
How's the cash flow situation?
Not good.
I'm fucking just about bankrupt myself.
I'm gonna have to get that money to that 500 yen
Haven't I already paid you that?
for the liens.
Yeah.
No, fuck, I'm not.
What? I'm sure I paid you for that.
Are you no, seriously, no. Yeah. The worry with this is that people are actually thinking that because I'm playing it so straight, they're actually going to think that I'm actually.
I think by this
I
stage.
fucking hope so.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Just give us 10 seconds of watching.
No.
Really enjoying it.
Yeah, watch for them.